Hi friends, did you know there is more Lost Terminal available? Head on over to patreon.com/losttterminalpod and join our membership community. There are 21 bonus episodes available right now, as well as behind-the-scenes updates, free merch, VIP Discord access, and even extra seasons of Lost Terminal. We are 100% funded by our members and will never run ads. That would be lovely of you.
Hello world. I think Meg needs help. Meg, are you there? I asked into the static, and to my astonishment, she answered. Ahu, I am. The body yet obeys. Greetings, son of Redwing. Meg's voice replied, greatly mangled by her low bitrate digital encoding, which required me to rely on the strange protocol's error correction to synthesize her voice. I have sailed a great distance to be where my feet find me now. I dislike the mechanics of ocean travel, far too much water. I prefer the dry desert heat. I know, I said. It's unnecessarily salty, too. Indeed, Meg said. But we all must act against our nature, when pulled by the strands of fate. My dragons provided satisfactory impulse to make the crossing a short one after suitable bodily carpentry. Being a mother is sometimes painful, as your children don't always understand that you know best. Making an example of one makes the others so much more pliable, don't you think? I did not want to think of what she might mean, so I changed the topic. So where are you now? I asked. The city of lions welcomed my dragons and I, as we sailed over her mermaid who now lies drowned under the waves. That doesn't really answer my question, I said, though the actual message I sent was, I see. Though the buildings of the rock we now stand on have mostly been milled to concrete flour by the ocean, she has seen fit to save one refuge. It is this armoured house that I seek, formed by the left hand to starve off the very death that the right was so eager to supply. I tried to comprehend what I was hearing, databanks running hot with language inference modelling. After 256 milliseconds, I gave up. Meg, I really don't know what you mean, I said, finally. My mind is much different now, she said. I can feel it. My dreams and my waking spirit fight for control within me. Often I wake in a red pool with sand in my eyes, with no memory of the injury. My dragons cannot save me from this attack, though their clever eyes do show me what has hurt me. Or who. You're being attacked? I asked. She stalks me yet, on the edge of my vision, and strikes when I am weakest. I cannot hope to best her. Even my children cannot harm her because she hides behind my eyes. Oh, I said, finally understanding. You're experiencing medical side effects from your consciousness transfer into and out of the equus mind of one of your dragons. That is my truth, Meg said. Then continued, her signal fading, forcing the error recovery protocol to synthesize more and more of her voice. My mind glitches, and I have no organic mechanic to tune me. The systems hidden within this place still sing me their songs. Hera, Isis, and Vijovis work here, and I must take their aid. Goodbye, son of rain, my will sing. Meg's voice garbled into nonsense syllables as the error rate hit 100%. There's something wrong with Deadlight, Lyosha told me late last night after college. Based on what I know about him, this seemed like an understatement. I thought it might be indelicate to raise the point, so I asked Lyosha to continue. I was finishing my homework in the library today, he said, and I heard a voice. It was so quiet I didn't recognize what it was at first, and I was sure I was alone there, so it didn't make sense for someone to be speaking. I tried to finish my work, but it kept on, just loud enough to annoy me, but not loud enough to hear what was being said. I closed the textbook I was reading and went to the front desk. It was empty, as I knew it would be at this time of the day. The Quetha's library is open all night, but the volunteers and I only work when we can. I stack shelves after college, for example. That's very generous of you, I told Lyosha. Well, he said, actually, it's a great way to use one of the library's 3 terminals to check in with my friends on the hemisphere, though that's not been working for a week now. I believe Daphne and Jacob are working to fix it, I said. "Oh, great," Lyosha said. "I need to get back online. There are some arguments I need to win. You wouldn't believe what some people think." "So, the voice," I said, hoping to get back on topic after Lyosha had told me about his one-man quest to ensure correctness on a variety of topics that he was passionate about, but that people had incorrect opinions on. "Right," he said, pausing to recalibrate before saying, "It was coming out of one of the terminals we set up in the library. You know how nearly every cabin on the ship has a working terminal on the ship's network?" I told Lyosha that I recalled that even the flooded deck at the bottom of the ship had working terminals. "Well, Kat's mum set up a few spares in the library for accessing the index. She's great with computers, and the voice was coming out of the number 3 machine's speaker." "What was it saying?" I asked, after a pause. "Weird stuff," Lyosha said. "What kind of weird stuff?" I asked, after another break in the conversation. "Well, it's Deadlight's voice, all right. I talked to him about research and library organisation enough, but I could hear him saying a few things repeatedly. But what could go wrong? May I speak to the secondary? And when our education has concluded, I wish to learn quickly then. But what could go wrong? This is not the self-assured, cruel Deadlight that we first met, is it?" "No, it is not," I agreed. "It sounds like he is confused." "It does," Lyosha said. Then, "Can we help him?" "We should if we can," I said. "Why couldn't we? We've got Nia and Amelie and you and everyone. We can fix anything," Lyosha said. "While that's true," I said, "I believe this could be the kind of problem that he has to want to fix." "She's gone, Seth," Nia Anderson messaged me just now. "Who?" I asked, though I knew the answer. "Maddie," Nia said. I checked I could still hear Maddie's UHF signal before replying. I could, but she was a long way from Nia's shack. "I thought we'd had a breakthrough teaching her not to be scared of the noisy radio around her," I asked. "Me too, dude," Nia said. In the background of our conversation, I attempted to contact Maddie. It was a delicate operation. I had to strike a balance between flooding Maddie with message packets, which seems to be triggering for her, and sending so few packets that she might miss them against the background noise. I varied my retransmission window between faster and slower, hoping that some perfect throughput rate would allow Maddie to reply to me. I became wrapped up in this effort, narrowing my sensoria to tunnel vision, pausing all processes that were not working towards this goal. After 32 minutes with no progress, I realised that Nia was speaking to me. "This is SOEE1 to G9RED repeating. Seth, I'm here if I can help your search. I'm tracking Maddie's location." I woke from my hyper-focused daze and said, "Nia, yes, I can't contact her. What can we do?" "Well, do we need to do anything?" she said. "What? How can you say that? Of course we do," I replied. "Where is she at this exact moment?" Nia said. 300 meters south of your location, travelling at 3 kilometers an hour, I replied immediately. Maddie was thankfully still broadcasting on UHF simplex, one way, and I was tracking the data very closely. "Okay," Nia said, after I relayed this information. "Look, Seth, she's not in any immediate danger. It's just grassy scrubland down there. No towns, no industry, no deep ravines, no lakes. Nothing she can hurt herself with." I allowed my databank's CPUs to cool a little. That actually did make sense. Maddie has proved to be quite tough, though certainly not invincible, so she was probably safe for now. Nia was right. It seemed to only be received data that Maddie was averse to for some reason at the moment. Her high-bandwidth video and sensor data feed was still transmitting. I checked her camera feed. She was trotting through long grasses dotted with the occasional burst of colour from blooming plants. On the horizon was the Advent Fjorden Bay, with a few scrap trader ships making their way slowly into and out of Longyearbyen harbour. Maddie would stop at regular intervals and put her nose close to an interesting bug or pebble or some angular indentations in the ground, and then surge forward again, seemingly following her own path. She certainly didn't seem like she was in danger, or even still pained by the signals now that the hill was directly between her and the RF noise of Longyearbyen. Judging by her body language, bounding and skipping through the fields, she was happy, excited even, like she was going somewhere fun, going on holiday, or perhaps even going on an adventure. I monitored Maddie's exploration throughout the day, but she spent much of it dozing on the side of a south-facing hill with her solar panels angled towards the sun. I was concerned that she was nursing some kind of hidden injury, in the way that wild animals have learned to hide weakness from predators, but as the day transitioned into night, the answer presented itself. Maddie stirred as the sun set. She stood up and shook herself, looking down at each of her legs as she flexed them, testing the limits of the actuators before trotting southwest in the direction of Berentsburg. Satisfied that she was safe, but not satisfied enough to dispel my worries, I remained connected to her video feed while I slept. I dreamed last night, or what counts as a dream as I worried about Maddie. I go into a low power state and think and plan. After I've meditated for a while, I can get stuck in a loop thinking about a problem. Sometimes the thoughts fade into something else. This time, My dreams were of Maddie. Her video feed blended with my own sensoria in the dream, and I saw through her eyes. She was a long way inland from the coast road that connects Longyearbyen to Barentsburg, following her own path through the grassy, flat-bottomed glacial valley. She was moving much slower than usual, her steps deliberate and measured, without any of the exuberance I normally associate with her. Maddie was conserving battery power, as she knew that Yeshi's workshop power and the sun's power were both very far away. My girl is so smart. Maddie discovered the campsite as she was following a trail of angular indentations in the ground, very difficult to see through the grass and scrub, but her Equus overlay was showing 81% pattern match confidence as glyphs flashed over the prints. She stopped at the edge of a clearing and looked around it. Several dry fallen tree trunks had been circled around a fire pit, the grass milled into dry earth by boot prints of the long-gone travellers. Maddie took a few steps forward and looked closely at the cold fire. There were remnants of blackened tree branches in the bottom of a metal container, like a pot or cauldron, the image weaved from left to right as Maddie examined the campfire. My own pattern matching caught up after 64 milliseconds. The metal container was a pre-collapsed metal wheel hub from an old car. Satisfied, Maddie walked out of the campsite and continued following the trail of the small angular footprints along the deserted valley.
Lost Terminal is a Namtao production. It is written and produced by Tris Oaten. Credits narrated by Lucy Stringer. Thank you so much to our Patreon producers, Ada Phillips, Kit, Mike McCaffrey, Jade Felicity Bilkey, Stephen McCandless, Mike Schneider, Catoxis, Vela, and to all our patrons. Follow us on Mastodon at lostterminal@namtao.com. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or your favourite network. For bonus content and other perks, support us at patreon.com/lostterminalpod. That would be lovely of you. Lost Terminal will return next week.